Hello friends, how are you all? I'm Sandhya back with a new topic for you today. And this class today will be the continuation of the previous class. That is, we are dealing with active and passive voice. The other day, I have explained you all the steps how to change a sentence from active voice into passive voice. Today in this class, we are going to see what kind of sentences we are going to see the sentences that cannot be changed into passive voice. See, all the sentences cannot be changed into passive voice. There are some exceptions. Now, let's see what those exceptions are. Now, first one is the sentences with intransitive verbs. And the second one, all perfect continuous tenses and future continuous tense. And the last one is exclamatory sentences. Now, let me tell you everything in detail. Now, coming to intransitive verbs. We all know that verbs are of two types. One is a transitive verb and the other one is an intransitive verb. Now, what is a transitive verb? Transitive verb is the verb which receives the object, which possesses the object. Now, for example, Ravi took my book. In this sentence, I tell that this verb took is a transitive verb because it is accepting the object. Now I'll give you one more example. Ravi sat. Yes, this is a verb, but let us find out whether this is a transitive verb or an intransitive verb. If it is an intransitive verb, it doesn't accept an object. Sat on a chair. In this sentence, I have added an object, but this word sat is not receiving the object here. That means Ravi sat on a chair. Let us convert this sentence into passive voice following all the steps in which we have learned in the previous class. A chair was, let me take the third form of sit. Sit, sat, sit was sit on by Ravi, which is a ridiculous and a meaningless sentence. That means this verb, when you convert that into passive voice, when the sentence is changed into passive voice, when you find the answer to be a meaningless and a ridiculous sentence, then we consider this verb to be an intransitive verb, where the sentences consisting of intransitive verbs cannot be changed into passive voice. This is rule number one. Apart from that one, we have one more. For example, I'll take the sentence, Ravi bought. It doesn't have an object. So, there is another rule in this particular sentences that whenever a sentence doesn't have an object, we cannot convert that sentence into passive voice. As per our rule, we need to have the subject, verb as well as the object. This verb taken should be a transitive verb for sure. If it is an intransitive verb, or else if the sentence doesn't have an object, you cannot convert that sentence into passive voice. So this is a meaningless sentence. Let me add an object for this one. Ravi bought a pen. Now, can we change the sentence into passive voice? Of course, yes. Now, this is not an intransitive verb. This sentence is added with an object. Now, we can write, a pen was bought by Ravi. So, as per the first rule, I can say that a sentence should have a transitive verb, and if the sentence consists of an intransitive verb, we cannot change the sentence into passive voice. And even if there is an absence of the object, we cannot convert that particular sentence into passive voice. Now, this is rule number one. Let us move on to rule number two. That is, all perfect continuous tenses and future continuous tense. Perfect continuous tenses and future continuous tense. Now I'll take examples in all the four. Like we have four types of tenses and each tense is subdivided into another four types. Like if you take present tense, we have simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense and present perfect continuous tense. In the same way, in past we have four and even in future we have four. Now we are talking about perfect continuous tenses. Here I have taken four examples. This is present perfect continuous tense and this is past perfect continuous tense and this is future perfect continuous tense and this is future continuous tense. That means all the three perfect continuous tenses, as per our rule, we don't have passive voice. I'll try to change this sentence into passive voice and I'll tell you why that is not possible. Now, as per the rule, bring the object first. A book, okay, has been. Whenever there is an ing form, we are supposed to use being. Take the third form of read, it becomes read by him. Look at the structure. A book has been being read by him. Have you ever heard anybody to be talking like this, using such kind of sentence anywhere else? So, this is a ridiculous, meaningless sentence where it doesn't have any kind of sense. So, this sentence is absolutely a wrong one. In the same way, them will be changed to they. They had been. Once again, for the in place of ing form, we will keep being. Teach third form will be taught by Meera. So, even this sentence is absolutely wrong, which is a meaningless sentence. And she will have been playing tennis. Tennis will have been, for ing form will keep being, played by, she will be changed to her, where even this is wrong. I will be watching TV. Start with TV. TV will be in form of being watched. Third form of watch is watched by me. So all these sentences do not make any kind of sense. We will never come across any person speaking like this. So that's why we say that the sentences which are with perfect continuous tenses or future continuous tense, they cannot be changed from active voice to passive voice. This is rule number 2. Now let's move on to third rule, that is exclamatory sentences. Now before explaining these exclamatory sentences, I do want to ask a question. How many types of sentences are there? So as you all know, we have 4 types of sentences. One is a declarative sentence. It can be positive sentence, it can be negative sentence, that is affirmative or negative sentences. They can be otherwise called assertive sentences. And the second one is the interrogative sentences, which talks about the questions. And the third one is the imperative sentences, which shows some command or the request or the orders in their form. And at last, it is exclamatory sentences, which expresses the strong sudden feelings of surprise or horror or happiness or sorrow. Now, why can't we change these exclamatory sentences into passive voice? Do you still remember that? Like, if you want to change a sentence from active voice to passive voice, we need the subject, verb and the object. Let us see whether we have all these components in these sentences or not. I'll take an example. What a beautiful flower it is. It ends with an exclamatory mark. So we need the subject, we need the verb and we need the object. Let us see whether they are present in this sentence or not. Subject means the person or the thing which does some action in the sentence. Can you find any such word here? No. That means we don't have a subject in the sentence. If you miss even a single component while changing, you cannot change a sentence from active to passive voice. Let us see at least the verb. Is there any verb performing the action here? there is no verb. So even this is missing. And let us find out the object. What a beautiful flower it is. Maybe there is an object, but it is not receiving any kind of action from the subject because there is an absence of the subject as well as there is an absence of the verb. So we cannot change the sentence if it is given in exclamatory into passive voice. These are all the exceptions in changing a sentence from active to passive voice. I think I'm very clear with this one. And remember, first thing is you need to have the transitive verb, and you can change only 8 sentences in all the tenses. Like we have 12 together, 3 main tenses which are divided into 4. So 3 4s are 12, out of which I told you earlier, like 4 tenses cannot be changed into passive voice, and even the exclamatory sentences also cannot be changed into passive voice. Rest of all the sentences which have a transitive verb, which is a finite verb, I mean, if it possesses a finite verb, we can change the entire sentences into passive voice. So that's all for today. If you like this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe. Catch you soon with a new video, and that too with a continuation of the same topic. Till then, bye bye. Take care.